internet, period, in
Yes,
discussion.
it was published on the internet. You just needed a password.
You're fighting with each other. I'm going to throw you both out.
And it's not her first reboot.
Did you have another developer prior to hiring the defendant?
I've had several developers.
Right.
Judge Judy.
You are about to enter the courtroom of Judge Judith Scheindlin. This is Judge Judy.
Real estate broker Constance Kelly is suing graphic designer Eleanor Phillips for a refund for a business website.
Order. All rise. It's case number 102 on the calendar in the matter of Kelly versus Phillips.
Thank you.
You're welcome, Judge. Parties have been sworn in. You may be seated, sir. Have a seat.
Miss Kelly, you hired the defendant to do a website for you. You are a real estate broker. When did you get your license?
I was licensed in 2016.
And did you work for someone else?
I was at another brokerage, yes, before I got my own broker's license and launched my own company.
Which was when?
I launched my brokerage in August of 2018.
And what's the name of that company?
CKRE, Idaho.
Bert, do you have an iPad or some device there?
Yeah.
What's the website?
It's CKRE.
Okay.
Okay, I'd like to look at it. Okay, and when did this website go up?
That website went up about a month ago.
Prior to that, did you have a website? That's a yes or no?
No.
When did you hire the defendant to build a website for you?
The beginning of January.
Of 2019. How much was she charging you to build that website?
$3,600.
And you gave her a deposit?
Yes, ma'am.
Of $1,800?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, and that's what you want back?
Correct.
Did she build a website for you?
No, ma'am.
Did you build a website for her?
Yes, I did.
Can you show me what you did?
Yes, I can. These were all the pages before the website was taken down. There is some content that is not exactly finished in there because it was not completed.
Would you take a look and tell me if this is a fair and accurate representation of the work that the defendant did? And that was up.
So, Your Honor, these are what we call mock-ups. This was never published to my website.
That is wrong.
Just a second. Is what you're telling me that those were never on the internet?
No, ma'am.
That those pages you never used?
Correct.
Okay.
She's lying.
Where did you get those?
That was the day that our dispute happened, which was February 7th.
Now, the dispute occurred because the website was not built so that it could accommodate MLS listings?
Yes, ma'am, you're correct.
Do you have MLS capability now?
I haven't.
That's either a yes or a no.
No.
And the website is up because he just found it.
It's a placeholder while the new website is being developed.
And you do understand that there is now a fee for using MLS services?
No, not for me. Because I'm not a vendor. I don't provide that as a web developer.
Is what you're telling, because this is all about the MLS and whether or not you get your deposit back. So far, she did work. I see she did work, and I don't believe you that it wasn't up on the internet, by the way. I don't believe that. I believe that that's where she got the pictures from.
It was not on the internet, Judge Judy.
Yes, it was, and I even have an email where I sent her her username and password so she could view.
May I see it?
Yes. It's right here. It wasn't ready to be viewed publicly.
She just said the key words, Your Honor. It wasn't ready to be viewed publicly. It was not published on the internet, period, in
Yes,
discussion.
it was published on the internet. You just needed a password.
You're fighting with each other. I'm going to throw you both out because I don't have to listen to this. I'm reading something.
Your Honor, this is a red herring. No problem refunding me my money.
Just a second. I'm reading something. Did you have somebody developing a website for you prior to the defendant?
I had another local...
That's either a yes or a no.
No.
Well, that's not what it says here.
I'm not clear on your question, Your Honor.
My question is very clear. I speak English. I said, did you have another developer prior to hiring the defendant?
I've had several developers.
Right. So the answer is yes. How many?
I would say that I've had 4 websites in the last 4 years. As my company, my business has grown and expanded, the demands of my website have also grown and expanded.
No, that's not what this says. Okay, now you say you have a voice message from her.
Yes, ma'am.
Where she says she is going to refund the deposit that you gave her, which she's opposing in this proceeding. She said she did a lot of work on the website, And she put in hours worth of work?
She didn't.
For
She
which-
put up a simple template.
I'm speaking. She said she put in work on your website, and she deserves to be compensated for that. If you went someplace else, that's up to you. So now I'd like to hear the voicemail.
How to respond to that. If you feel so strongly that I haven't done anything for you, I'm doing that because that's the type of person that I am.
If you can tell that I'm taking a breath because she clipped that voicemail, she's not playing the full voicemail in context.
I can play the full voicemail if you'd
I'd
like,
like
Your
to-
Honor.
I would.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know how to clip audio.
You obviously just did.
Just, if you talk to each other, I'm just going to throw you both out.
Sorry.
Do you understand?
I apologize, Your Honor.
Okay.
Hi, Constance. This is Elle. I just received your...
No, Your Honor, this is
And-
2.5 minutes. Do you want to listen to the full entirety?
Yeah.
Okay.
Hi, Constance. This is Elle. I just received your email, and I'm a little disappointed, but I just want to get some clarification. First of all, I've spent over 22 hours literally working until midnight trying to get your website complete and ready to go. I just want to express that to you because I have put a lot of time into the site to where it is now. And that does not include phone calls and getting you set up on GoDaddy and making sure that all of that is set up on your end. So I guess my disappointment at this point runs with that you want to pay me $350 for over 22 hours of work. And I'm not really sure. Feel so strongly that I haven't done anything for you, then I will refund your money. And I have no problem doing that because that's the type of person that I am. But I also want to let you know that if you don't pay me, or at least let me keep the deposit for the work that I have put in, I can't make your site live because I have put in significant...
No.
Hi,
Because I have.
I am. But I also want to let you know that if you don't pay me, or at least let me keep the deposit for the work that I have put in, I can't make your site live because I have put in a significant amount of time. I just told you that I was willing to make your site live and get that up and going and eat the rest of any other costs that I would have charged in order to get the IDX up and running. I never told you that I had IDX capabilities. I was depending on you for that. It was my assumption that as a realtor, you had access to the MLS. I have mentioned it a couple times that the only requirement that I needed in order to get the MLS working on your website was a username and password. And we're not willing to pay $150 a quarter for that password access. And if you want me to sign up as a vendor and I'll pay $150 a quarter, I will agree to that, but I'm only going to agree to it for 1 year. So I think that's where we're landing, is that I really have put a lot of time into this. So if you could please give me a call back so we can at least talk this out, I would really appreciate it. You can record the phone calls. That is totally fine with me. But I need you to understand that I have put a whole...
That's it, Your Honor.
She was being most reasonable with you, Miss Kelly.
I understand.
She was being most reasonable with you. She said, I will keep the deposit. You don't have to pay me anything else. I will get your website up and running. We both found out at the same time that there is a fee for MLS of $150 a quarter. I will pay that for the first year, which means she was willing to pay $600 in order to... That's what she says in there. I mean, you were giving me that one clip where it says, I will give you back your money.
I was trying not to waste your time, Your Honor.
Your case is dismissed. We're done. Thank you.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
I think it was a very fair and just decision. I was willing to just bend over backward for her, and she just didn't care. You should absolutely get paid, and you should fight.
All parties in the matter of Knudsen versus Beckwith, step forward.
Cleaning service owner Heidi Knudsen is suing her former employee, Julie Beckwith, for soliciting clients away from her cleaning company in Hawaii.
This is a contract case. Ms. Knutson, you hired the defendant as an employee with your home cleaning service.
Yes.
What month did you hire her?
That was July of 2018
And she worked for you until when?
till April 30th, 2019
And where was that business?
in Honolulu, Hawaii.
And where did you live?
I lived in Utah at the time.
Had you lived in Hawaii?
Yeah, I was there for 8 years.
So you were running your business long distance.
Yes.
How many employees did you have?
It fluctuated anywhere from 1 to 3.
Did you do home cleaning when you lived there?
I did, yes.
And you had a certain number of clients.
Yes.
So those clients that you had, you turned over to some people first. They
Yes,
didn't work out.
exactly.
And then you hired the defendant
Yes.
to do the same work that you were doing.
Yes, exactly.
Now, you had a contract with her. I'd like to take a look at it.
Okay.
So what you have is a non-interference clause with your business. And it reads, the client list, client information, and client contact information are the property of 808 Cleaning, that's your company, and the employee may not use, service, or solicit said clients outside of the administration of 808 Cleaning. The employee and the employer agree not to publicly defame the other party in the event of termination. Okay, so what happened was she worked for you for about 8 months and then went out on her own. And I don't know how many, but many of the clients that she was servicing followed her to her
Sort
new
of.
place.
Right.
And so you're suing her for breach of contract.
Yes, but also, I mean, she was very dishonest. She told me she was leaving to start
Okay,
a vacation
I don't
rental.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
How many of her clients came with you?
3.
3. And 19 or 20 stayed with you?
Yes, that's correct.
And 3 decided to go with her?
That I know of. Those are the only ones that have proof.
Well, that's all that counts here. We're in a court.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy.
Cleaning service owner Heidi Knutson says former employee Julie Beckwith solicited clients away for unpaid work hours.
Okay, you really have to understand, it's not as if you were the CEO of a large company. You had a
Right.
personal business. You were moving. And what you did was you hired somebody else to clean, and you took a cut of whatever they...
Half.
Half, whatever it is. You took half, and in exchange for that, you got the clients, and you got half. That's what the deal was. And the question is, how many of your clients stayed with you?
About 19 or 20. The total of everything she took added up to about $17,000 a year that she took from my business.
You see, you have a contract, but an unsympathetic position.
She was still working for me when she was telling them about her new business.
Well, you don't know that. You don't have a witness here to tell you.
I do know that. I have text messages.
Oh, I'd like to see.
Okay.
If you have text messages that while she was still working for you, she was soliciting these clients to come to work for her, your case is rock solid.
I have a witness also.
Great. You may have, but how many of her clients came with you? A number.
A few.
Not a number.
3.
3. And 19 or 20 stayed with you?
Yes, that's correct.
And 3 decided to go with her?
That I know of. Those are the only
Shh.
ones that have proof.
Well, that's all that counts here. We're in a court.
Right.
You understand you're in an unsympathetic position for me. Now show me proof that she was solicited. She was working for you. She's not allowed to do that. And that's not what she said she did.
She admitted that she did it, Your Honor.
You said you had text
I do.
messages.
I'm
I'd like to
sorry.
see it.
Got a little scrambled. This is the one from actually the client here, Adrian.
I'd like to see it. When did you terminate your business? April 30th?
I gave her a 2-week notice on April 16th, and
4/16.
my last day was
Okay.
the April 30th.
It's dated May 1st,
Yes.
after she left your employment.
However, if you...
Shh, I'm going to read it. It's dated May 1st, after she left your employment.
Yes, it is, ma'am.
Okay, this is a very easy. She says, hello, Heidi. I assume that's your first name. She said, I sent this to you on Monday. This
Right.
is Wednesday. I understand that Julie, so 2 days before she left, but she had given you notice, I understand that Julie is leaving, and we will be getting a new person with your company. So she told them clearly that she was leaving, and a new person would be coming from your company. That's not unreasonable. So far she didn't break anything. She said, goodbye, I will not be coming back. You'll be getting a new person from the company. I'd really like to stay with Julie, as she has come to know our home, a dog, and us so well. I hope you understand, and thank you for introducing us. Please accept this as my notification that will be effective this week. Again, thank you for supporting our housekeeping needs, and I wish you much success in the future. That's you.
Correct.
What's wrong with that?
It shows that she was telling everybody about her new cleaning business prior to when
No,
she
no,
was
no, no,
still-
no, no, no. No, no, no. That's not what this says at all.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
I live in Hawaii, and you live in Utah, and I don't want you to pick somebody out because I could pick some stranger out to come and clean my house. I mean, don't you understand the logistics of it?
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy.
Cleaning service owner Heidi Knudsen says former employee Julie Beckwith solicited clients away from her business. Julie is countersuing for unpaid work hours.
Okay, I still haven't heard that she breached the contract.
She's servicing the clients that were on my
That's
client
okay.
list.
She can service them. She's not allowed to solicit them. It's a free country. They can say, I don't want you to be my cleaning service anymore. I live in Hawaii, and you live in Utah, and I don't want you to pick somebody out because I could pick some stranger out to come and clean my house. I mean, don't you understand the logistics of it? Are you licensed and bonded?
I am.
Okay. You are,
Stofco.
you live in Hawaii.
Correct.
How long had the plaintiff been servicing your home?
I would say it's been at least a year, if not more.
Was the plaintiff the person who came?
No, there was maybe 2 to 3 different people before Julie began cleaning.
And I would like you to tell me the conversation you had with her in April. Must have been in April, sometime in April.
I travel for work quite frequently, so it's often that I need to coordinate the time that someone will be coming to the home. And in case I'm not there, my husband would need to let them in. And so I had asked her what time next week would she be coming, and she let me know at that point she would not be coming anymore because she put in her 2 weeks' notice.
And what
at
did you
that-
say to her?
I asked her, are you moving off the island? Where are you going? And she responded and let me know that she was starting her own company. And to that, I asked her if she would be willing to continue cleaning for us because, again, we really had grown to trust her. I leave the house sometimes when she's cleaning. And because we had kind of a several different folks and we finally had someone consistent that we trusted, I asked her if she'd be willing to continue servicing our home with her new business.
Okay, well, that is somewhat different, actually, than what you wrote in this text. That's a solicitation. That's not saying you will be getting someone. Of course, you can have a conversation with her. You can say, can I have your contact information? You probably already have her contact information, so you're free to call her. But what you just testified to is that she said to you, I'm leaving, I'm starting my own company, and that you're not allowed to do, Ms. Beckwith.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Want justice? Go to judgejudy.com. Like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter.
How many clients do you have? 3 that you took from her? How many clients do you have altogether now?
I have about 7.
Okay. How much do you pay her?
I pay her once a week. It's $130, and depending upon if there's extras, it can go up to $170 a week.
And a reasonable period of time for a non-compete, I would say, well, it's not in here, is a year. And in a year, you pay her at least $5,000 if you're paying her $130 a week.
Correct.
Sometimes more. Well, my limit is $5,000, and that's what you're entitled to. Judgment for the plaintiff. We're done. Thank you.
Thank you.
What about my countersuit?
4?
Overtime hours. She hired me as an employee
Goodbye.
and paid me as a contractor.
Please excuse me, step up.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. And on the next Judge Judy.
Clients decided to not continue with her and to go with me.
I couldn't be happier.
So I didn't ask them to follow me. They said that they wanted to do that.
She knew she was being dishonest.
Ready to be done, move on.
I thought it was going the other way, and I'm stoked.
Is this what they jackhammered?
Yes.
A mistake by mason workers was set in stone.
You and the crew went out and started to jackhammer the driveway, and you destroyed her property because you weren't smart.
Are they paving their way to unemployment?
You said, I want a new driveway.
For 4,000?
Don't.
What?
There's only one person here that has attitude.
Judge Judy.
You are about to enter the courtroom of Judge Judith Scheindlin. This is Judge Judy.
Camilla Latini is suing cement mason Rudolfo Contreras and his employee, Gary Gomez, for mistakenly tearing up her driveway.
Order. All rise. It's case number 5 on the calendar in the matter of Latini versus Contreras Gomez.
Thank you.
You're welcome, Judge. Parties have been sworn in. You may be seated.
Miss Latini, you own a home and jackhammered and dug up part of your driveway.
That's correct.
And they did so because they were under the mistaken impression that you would hire them to do that.
I'm not sure what, okay. Yeah.
But that's what they say.
Okay.
They were under the impression that you had hired them to do that. Mr. Contreras, you own this company?
No, it's not a company. It's a side job. We're both cement masons.
Okay. What do you do for a living?
Concrete, cement mason.
Okay. So this isn't a side job. This is what you do for a living.
It's what I do for a living, yes.
All right. And you and your partner did, in fact, go on to plaintiff's property and jackhammer part of her cement driveway. The answer is yes.
Yes.
Don't think of where I'm going. Just answer the questions.
All right.
Plaintiff never hired you to do that.
No.
This is what your defense is. You were contacted by someone on the internet who said that they owned this property that belongs to the plaintiff and they wanted a new driveway. And you gave these people a quote. What was the quote for the new driveway?
$6,000.
$6,000 to put in a new driveway. You must have gone to the property to look at it.
Yes.
She wasn't there.
Correct.
Neither was the person that you were dealing with over the internet. Said, your price is agreeable. I'll wire you the money. But before I wire you the money, I want you to wire me $300 so I know that it's a legitimate place where I'm sending the money. So you sent that person who claimed to be the owner of the plaintiff's property a wire from your bank account for $300, correct?
Incorrect.
You say you sent them $300. How did you send it to them?
That was sent, me and this supposedly owner.
Just a second. Did you send them $300?
Yes.
How did you send them $300?
Through communications, through the text messaging, through the phone.
No, you can't send a text message with $300. How did you send them the $300?
Wired.
That's what I said. You sent them a wire for $300. And then you and the crew went out and started to jackhammer the driveway. And when you tried to get them to get you $6,000, according to you, they disconnected their phone, they disconnected their line. Oh, she comes home, she finds a driveway jackhammer. She said, who the heck are you? He said, but we were hired to put in a new driveway. She said, I never hired you to put in a new driveway. That's the sneer.
Funny for you, huh? No, that is not what I told her. I haven't said much of anything for starters.
Well, I'm
with
just
all due
reading,
respect.
just a second. I'm reading your answer. And that's in a Reader's Digest form. So you tell me, did the plaintiff hire you to do a new driveway? That's a yes or a no.
No. And yes.
You tell me how yes. You tell me how the plaintiff hired you to put in a new driveway. Mr. Contreras, don't make yourself look foolish. Because if what I suggested was the accurate description of what happened, that you were hired by this person who you never met because he said he was out of town getting cancer treatment, which is what you wrote in your answer. And so you wired him $300 so he could confirm that he was dealing with a legitimate outfit before he sent you the $6,000 to do the driveway. You tell me what part of that is wrong. That's what you wrote.
For one, he was claiming to be the owner, okay?
I don't care whether he was claiming to be God.
It was a big scam, is what I'm getting at.
Just a second.
Okay.
If you opened up your ears, and if you used your ears more than your mouth, and used your brain, you would understand that's exactly what I just said. That's exactly the scenario that I just said, that $100. And you destroyed her property because you weren't smart, which is clear to me how it happened. Crystal clear to me how it happened. Are you his partner?
I'm right here beside him.
What?
Yeah.
Good. The only question is, you said to her, I'll fix the part that I jackhammered. He said, I'll fix the part that I jackhammered. You said, I want a new driveway. That's what he says.
For $4,000?
Just
Shoot.
don't, John.
What?
Listen, you have to understand something. You and your partner made a mistake. You got conned. It's like somebody I had here yesterday told me that she met a guy online from Nigeria who said to her, I want to come and live with you but I need to know your bank information. That's what happened to you. That's really what happened to you. You said, listen, you're in the concrete business. I have a house. I want you to do a job for me, but I want to make sure I'm dealing with a legitimate outfit. So wire me $300. I'll send it right back to you along with $6,000 to do the driveway. You sent them the $300. They closed their line. You never heard from them again. And you destroyed another person's property who had nothing to do with you. You got scammed. But between you, who were dumb and got scammed, and the plaintiff, your only question that I have to decide is, and that's going to be based on pictures, is I want to see what the driveway looked like jackhammered. I want to see whether patching the driveway is sufficient, or you charged $6,000 to put in a new driveway. There's no question. I've had and I have a lot of driveways. Unless you do the whole driveway, it looks like a patch job. It looks like one piece is done in 2020 and one piece is done in 2002, and it doesn't look right. So now I have to see what part you jackhammered and whether reasonably it can be repaired or whether she needs a new driveway. That's the law. Now, may I see photographs, please?
Well, this photograph is
Just don't tell me what the photograph is. Just hand it to me.
That's before the damage. The one after is after.
Don't talk. Don't talk. Just
don't talk.
Stuff.
This is like a silent movie. This is a before and after picture. What does that mean?
The stack of pictures, that's the after I had it repaired. And it does look like a patchwork job. I just was desperate to have it fixed. So.
Well, it is a halfway job. Is this the fix?
That's the fixed.
And is this... Can I see the bill, what you spent to have it fixed? Just the bill to have it fixed. Good, thank you. I want to know how much you spent to have it fixed. I have two checks.
Yes,
$2,268 are the two checks that I have.
Yes, so the gentleman that fixed it, we paid one check to him before he started the job and another check to him after he finished.
So you spent $2,268.
And also $895 for the concrete. To save us money, he said that if I ordered the concrete myself and saved him doing that, that I could save some money, so...
Got it. Listen, she got a bargain. You charged
$4,000, you do the whole driveway.
Listen to me. You watch your attitude. There's only one person here that has attitude. Oh. Listen to me. For people who were stupid enough to get scammed by this person, I would not be so aggressive. You were charging this man who was... hey, I'm speaking. You may get away with that at home, not in here. You were charging this guy $6,000 for a new driveway. She had the thing done for 31 feet.
That wasn't even a third of the driveway.
Judgment for the plaintiff.
Oh, I had additional. I hired a private investigator to find them.
Yeah, you charged that one on the bill, too.
And I'd lost wages.
Yeah,
you would have
what?
answered your phone, we could have done it.
Nobody called.
She did it work. She would large wages, right?
I'm gonna need you to be quiet. Really? No.
Right.
I'm gonna need you to be quiet.
I didn't know if someone had done this as an act of vandalism.
I understand we did a mistake. Okay, I got scammed. That's that.
I didn't know what happened, so it was pretty scary.
I could have fixed it for her. I would have paid the concrete out of pocket. I'm still scammed out of $400.
I hired a private investigator, actually, to even find them. I had no idea who had done the damage.
I could have paid for the concrete, done the work, done deal. Everybody's happy. She never gave me the opportunity.
I'm glad my driveway's fixed.
And now, the next case.
All parties in the matter are Speller versus Jelks. Step forward, please.
Sharon Speller is suing mechanic Dwight Jelks for the cost of car parts and for the value of a vehicle that went missing.
Mr. Jelks, I'm going to start with you. The plaintiff brought a car into you to be fixed.
Correct.
And it was an old car, and it was a car that she had inherited from someone. Was she able to drive it in, or did she tow it?
I towed it.
So you went to her house and you towed it?
Correct.
Had you known her before?
A few years.
Now, on what date did you tow this car in to your shop?
I want to say October.
Of last year?
Correct.
And when had you inherited the car, Ms. Speller?
Like September of 2016.
From whom?
My uncle.
Had you been driving it?
I drove the car from Alabama.
When?
Like September of 2016.
And then what did you do with it?
It started cutting off. So then I called Dwight to come see, why the car was cutting off. Dwight he had the car. It was going back and forth, back and forth. Me and Dwight.
On what date did you give him the car?
I said maybe like September 18th of 2016. He gave me the car back to try to take it to the emissions test, like in November. It didn't work out.
Just a second. So in November of 2016, it didn't pass emissions?
Yes.
So you couldn't register it?
It had already been registered.
That is not correct.
If it had already been registered, why would you take it to emissions?
Because when I had the car, I had to get the car in my name, and it wouldn't pass the emission. You know how they give you time to get it fixed?
Just a second.
Yes.
So it didn't pass emissions in November?
Mm-hmm, yes.
So what did you do with the car between November of 2016 and October of 2018, is my question. Drove it for a while, and then it would break down.
Yes, ma'am.
And what year car was this?
This was a 1994 Buick LeSabre.
So the car is about 25 years old.
Yeah, but it was in good condition. It only had
Well, evidently not if it kept breaking down.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy.
Sharon Speller says mechanic Dwight Jelks is responsible for the disappearance of her car.
So what did you do with the car between November of 2016 and October of 2018, is my question.
From my house back to Dwight's.
I don't want you to call him by his first name. Mr. Jelks.
Mr. Jelks.
So it went back to Mr. Jelks.
Yes.
Is what you're telling me over a 2-year period, it went back and forth to be fixed?
Yes.
And it was unregistered? That's either a yes or a no. If it's a yes, it was registered, you'll show me the registration.
Yes.
So was it registered
Yes.
between 16 and 18?
Yes.
Show me.
The car was registered and when it got towed.
Where? This is 2016. I want to see that the car was registered between 2016 and 2018.
No, the license plate had expired by then.
Well, then why are you wasting my time giving me nonsense when I ask you for something? You think if you just give me a piece of paper, it's going to suffice? So the answer is between 2016 and 2018, the car was not registered.
Yes.
So between 2016 and 2018, I'm going to ask you this question again. What were you doing with the car?
It was going back and forth.
How is it getting back and forth? What? Stand. Name.
My name is Hollis Heron. I'm her son. Between 2016 and 2018, a car run for a few days, and then it'll overheat.
I want to know what was happening with the car between 2016 and 2018 when it wasn't registered.
Because we was trying to get it registered every time it was something different. First, the fuel pump went out. He took the car back to fix the fuel pump. We get the car, we was gonna take it to the emission place again. It cut off again. Then it was the battery went out. Every time it was time to get the car back,
So
it was
the
something
car
different.
was not drivable. You drove it for a while, and then it would break down.
Yes, ma'am.
And then it would continually break down, and you would take it back to the mechanic to see if he could fix it.
Yes, ma'am.
Right. And was he able to ever fix it?
He always
No.
No.
And what year car was this?
This was a 1994 Buick LeSabre.
So the car is about 25 years old.
Yeah, but it was in good condition. It only had
Well, evidently not if it kept breaking down.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
What you say is that in October you brought it for the last time to your shop?
Yes, ma'am.
And then what happened?
The car was towed from in front of my house.
What was it doing in front of your house?
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy.
Sharon Speller says mechanic Dwight Jelks is responsible for the disappearance of her car.
So the car's about 25 years old.
Yeah, but it was in good condition. It only had
Car, well, evidently not if it kept breaking down. Evidently not. If what you're telling me and what your mother is telling me is that over a 2-year period, it would drive, would cut out, would drive, it would overheat, it would drive, it didn't pass admissions. You could never get it registered in 2 years because it was don't tell me it was in good condition.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, very good. This car you inherited. Now, what you say is that in October you brought it for the last time to your shop?
Yes, ma'am.
Of 2018? And then what happened?
The car was towed from in front of my house because it had expired plates.
What was it doing in front of your house?
Because I work in the back of my home in the garage. So I was going to repair the car there, but the car got towed the day before I was going to put the motor in it. Another motor.
That's your fault.
For the car?
Yes. If you accept the responsibility as a mechanic and take custody of someone's property, you're not an insurer, but you have to exercise a reasonable standard of care to see that it doesn't get towed.
Correct.
Now, you knew that it had no plates, and you're a mechanic, so you know if the car is on your property, they won't tow it, because normal people know that, and you look like a normal person.
Correct.
You negligently left it on the street, and according to you, it was towed. She doesn't know where her car is.
In which I told her where her car was. And I was willing to pay.
Just a second. Where was her car?
Towed to City Pound.
How do you know that?
Because they notified me.
Do you have the notification?
A card in my mailbox letting me know that the car was towed.
How much after the car was towed did you notify the plaintiff that the car was towed?
The next day.
How did you notify her?
By phone and text.
Can I see the text?
Don't have no text also.
You have no text?
Oh, ma'am.
Have no nothing?
No.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. Closed captioning sponsored by.
Have you been cheated? Go to judgejudy.com. Like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter.
I'd like you to give me, Bird, the low-end value of 1994, whatever this was.
$1,002.
$1,002.
$1,002.
She stated that the car was registered, in which it wasn't. That's the reason the car was towed.
Listen to me, sir. You're a mechanic.
Correct.
Your obligation is to, if I take my car into Ford or Chevrolet or a mechanical service to take care of my car, and they negligently leave my car out on the street at a meter, and the meter expires, and they keep putting tickets on it, and the car gets towed, that's your fault. You have to exercise reasonable when you were fixing this car.
Yes.
Right. The car's worth $1,002. Judgment for the plaintiff. We're done. Goodbye.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. And on the next Judge Judy.
It's all a rip-off because there was never nothing wrong with the motor.
Things happen.
It was just one thing after another. I'm just glad it's over with.
The car was towed. I didn't get a chance to get it running again.
Called me and said, Miss Sharon, did you come get your car? And I said, of course not.
I told her that the car was at the pound and she didn't go get it.
And then he called back the next day and said the car had got towed.
That's what happens.
Don't deal with alley mechanics.
You were going across 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lanes of traffic.
Yes.
A wheelchair on the road went unnoticed.
Did you see her?
No.
There's no question that you hit her.
We collided, yes.
No, you hit her.
But the judge can grab her attention.
Your Honor, she should not have even been driving. She had no insurance.
That's interesting.
Is that true?
Hey!
Judge Judy.
You are about to enter the courtroom of Judge Judith Scheindlin. This is Judge Judy.
Miss Jessica Jacobson for hitting her while she was crossing the road in her wheelchair.
Order. All rise. It's case number 20 on the calendar in the matter of Edwards versus Jacobson.
Thank you.
You're welcome, Judge. Your party's been sworn in. You may be seated.
Miss Edwards, Miss Jacobson hit you when you were riding in your mobility scooter as you were crossing the street.
Correct.
There's no question that you hit her. Is that correct?
Yes, we collided, Your Honor. Yes.
What?
We collided, yes.
No, you hit her.
Matter of
And
opinion.
the issue is whether or not Miss Jacobson was negligent and is responsible for whatever injuries you had, which was actually the loss of your mobility scooter. You say that that was severely damaged. You weren't, fortunately, severely injured.
No, I had road rash on left leg, losing 2 layers of skin.
But fortunately, you weren't seriously injured.
No.
I'm looking at that diagram, and in between the 2 yellow lines, is that a turn lane?
It's both for pulling off in case you break down and a turn lane.
But it's not a driving lane.
No.
And you were in that turning lane, Miss Jacobson, because you were turning into that driveway.
Yes, I was, Your Honor.
That's where you someone there?
No, I was turning around to my apartment because I'd forgotten something I had to get back.
Okay, so you were going to make a U-turn?
No, not a U-turn. I was going to go in the driveway, come back out, and then I didn't feel safe making a U-turn on that thoroughfare.
Okay, you weren't going in. You had forgotten something, so you were going home.
Yes, which is westbound of that traffic fire.
It's okay. Tell me what you forgot at home.
Well, I left an associate at my door, and I realized I had an appointment that he might need the materials needed to work on a project in my garage. So I went back because I saw somebody pulling in as I left my apartment, which is west of those.
So you realized that you had to get home, and it was sort of an emergency that you had to get home.
Not at all, no.
Okay. I want you to go over to that because it's easier for you than it is for Miss Edwards to maneuver.
Okay.
You were turning into which driveway so that we're clear?
This is the 820 apartment complex?
That's Miss Edwards' apartment complex.
Correct.
Correct?
Yes.
And you were going home?
Correct.
Yes. And
Where had...
Where'd I come from?
No.
Oh.
I know where you were coming from, and I know that you were either going to go into the complex and make a left-hand turn into the complex and go around and come out, or if there was no traffic coming from the other side, you were going to make a U-turn. There's no question in my mind that those were the 2 options. I don't know which one it was because I'm not in your mind, and if my car could clear it, I would have made the U-turn, right? Right. Now, if there were cars coming from the other way, I would wait and turn in and do it properly.
May I give
Maybe.
you an aerial?
No, I don't
Okay.
want you to give me anything.
Okay.
Now, you're in your mobility scooter, and I assume, Miss Edwards, where there is a brake. Bird, would you go over to that drawing? Do you see where there is a break in the bottom that looks as if it's a path? Yes. Is that where you entered the street? So you entered there because there's a cut in the driveway?
It's a driveway that I came out of.
Just a second. It's a driveway.
Correct.
When you say it's a driveway, are there houses there?
From an apartment complex in back of the bus stop.
Okay.
And it's solid curb in front of the bus stop, so to get out, you have to go down the sidewalk to the driveway.
It's not designed to be handicap accessible. That's not why it's there. It's a driveway. Can cars go in there?
Yes.
Okay, so it's a driveway. It's not designed for you.
Correct.
And you were actually traveling diagonally in order to get into your driveway.
There's about a 5-degree diagonal.
Whatever it is, this is your diagram.
Yes.
You were traveling at a diagonal, which means you were going across one in a diagonal.
Yes. The nearest crosswalk is more than a half-mile down the street.
Where were you coming from, Miss Edwards?
I had gotten groceries at the grocery store and had just gotten off the bus at where that light blue square is down at the bottom.
Okay. Now, you're traveling and you know that you are not... Thank you, Bert. You know that you're not at a legitimate crosswalk.
Correct.
So you have to exercise far more care since you're not...
And I did.
Well, evidently not. But let's see whether you did or whether you didn't. So you're traveling diagonally. You can go back. When, for the first time, Miss Edwards, did you see the defendant's car?
I never saw it.
Well, you were facing in the direction...
Of the driveway.
Of the driveway. And she's coming from your left, correct?
Correct.
Where was Miss Jacobson, where was the damage to your car?
What little there was may have been to the front bumper of the passenger side. I never looked to ascertain that. But there's one discrepancy, Your Honor. May I point it out?
There's what?
A discrepancy with her drawing?
Go ahead.
Okay, thank you. The aerial
over.
is it's non-biased. Well,
Hold on just a second.
okay, here we've got, this is a bus terminal stop where there's people that, there's no driveway here. The driveway's, she's coming from out of Parkview. If she came out of this bus terminal, or bus stop, where they let her off, then she did come across the 2 lanes of traffic.
That's what I...
At a diagonal, but
Just
we
a second.
merged at a
Just a
V-point.
second. Just a second.
So...
Step back.
Okay.
Step back.
Okay,
right
okay.
there. See, sometimes you really have to keep quiet.
I'm sorry, I need to go this way.
Where you are, as you were.
Okay. There's a distance issue, though.
Miss Jacobson, see, sometimes you just have to listen and say, where is this fact finder? Because I'm the fact finder going. You just described to me what Miss Edwards did, that she got out of the bus and she was going across 3 lanes of traffic. Well, that would presuppose that you saw her. Well, then you can't tell me what she did.
No, she just said.
No, you're
what
guessing
she did.
what
Well,
she
she
did.
just said
no,
what she did.
I know what she said. I have ears. You don't have to repeat to me what she said. I'm of sound mind. That's why they still keep me here.
But there's no
So
there's no driveway there. There's only a sidewalk.
It doesn't matter.
Okay.
You can't tell me what you think happened unless you saw her.
Right, exactly.
Did you see her?
Not at all. Not until she was right in front of the headlight of my passenger vehicle.
So you have 2 defenses to this. You have the defense that the scooter shouldn't have been there.
Yes.
And your second defense is that your car is too high, so you didn't see her. What's the other defense?
Well, like I'm saying, there's a distance issue with where she's got this diagram. First of all, the
Just
bus
a second.
terminal.
Listen to me.
Okay.
She has a certain amount of care that she has to exercise.
Exactly.
You, who are driving a vehicle, have to look where they're going.
Yes.
And if I saw someone in a wheelchair crossing the street, if I was paying attention to what I was doing, I wouldn't hit them with the front bumper of my car if I was paying attention. She didn't scoot into the front end of your bumper.
That's not what happened. What I was trying to get at is that we merged at a V-point where the collision was.
That's impossible. It's impossible that you merged at a V-point. If you merged at a V-point, you would have to be coming from the opposite direction.
No, we're both traveling the same direction.
No, you weren't going in the same direction.
Yes, we were, Your Honor.
Your Honor.
Listen to me. If you merge at a V-point, Miss Jacobson, you would have to be coming from the lower right-hand corner of that picture if you merge at a V-point. If you're going in the same direction because she's turning and you are, you're not at a V-point. Either she hit you on the side of your car or you hit her with the front of your car. And you hit her with the front of your car.
No, I did not.
Your Honor, she should not have even been driving. She had no insurance.
Just a second. That's interesting. Were you driving your car without insurance?
No, ma'am, I was not. Not ever once.
Just a second. Interesting. I'm going to take a break. You go back and get me proof that on the date of this incident, which was
March
12th, you had insurance on your car. I'll wait here. Go.
Good luck. I might have it. I might not. I'll be right
No,
back.
just a second. If you don't have it,
I know.
then you didn't have it.
I have it.
If you can't produce it for me in 5 minutes, that means that you don't have insurance. Do you understand?
Oh, yeah.
Don't waste my time. Because that really will irritate me if you waste my time.
I understand that.
Did you have a paid-up policy of liability insurance on your car on March 12th?
Without any uncertainty whatsoever, yes.
Go and show me proof.
I have a copy
Just
of
a second.
the police report.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Are you telling me that the police department has it in for you for some reason, Ms. Jacobson?
yeah.
Are you telling me the entire police department has
Not
it
the
in for some
entire.
old lady? And the district attorney?
No.
Has it in for you
No, I have a
for some
detective.
unknown reason?
And later today,
He gave you back $5,000. So far, you're $500 ahead of the game, okay? Do you understand where I'm going?
No.
You don't?
No, because I
Yeah,
paid him much more than
the
that.
smile that you have on your face suggests to me that you know exactly where I'm going.
real cases, real people. Judge Judy.
Jessica Edwards says motorist Jessica Jacobson ran into her while she was crossing the road in her wheelchair.
Okay, Ms. Jacobson, I'd like to see what you have. Okay, this says that the effective date of this policy when it was issued was September 16th, 2018, and it's good until March 16th, 2019. So this is an insurance identification card, which means that if Miss Jacobson paid her insurance premiums, then she would have had liability insurance. You say she has no insurance.
I have a copy of the police report.
You had no insurance.
Yes, I did, Your Honor. That police report is nullified because I have insurance that doesn't mention the police officer that hit me 2 months prior to that either. My insurance company was not correct in their findings. When they reported that day, it was not. I have a $542
Just a second.
check.
This is the narrative. Unified Police Department. It says, just insurance. I called Insurite and confirmed that there was no insurance. Jessica said that there was no insurance after she made a few calls. Vehicle 1 was taxed and impounded for no insurance. Was your car impounded? Was your car impounded?
Yes, it was, but I never made one call.
Just a second.
I never
The question is, was your car impounded?
Yes, wrongfully. It's still sitting there waiting for litigation against the Salt Lake Unified Police Department.
When did you get your car out of impound?
I have not yet. Like I said, it's still sitting there. That's part of the problems I've had because the Salt Lake Unified Police Department...
You're not supposed to be driving.
You're
not supposed to be
Your
driving.
Honor, I was completely insured at that moment in time, and I'm not going to go on anything less. That is the absolute fact, and I'm not going to say anything more. I mean, you're going to go off hearsay that is incorrect.
No. This is a business record.
It's not a business record.
Hey, listen to me. Do you have a lot to do with courts?
No, but I know what I've been through.
Just a second. You have a lot to do with courts. I know that you have troubles. Believe me, I've been in this business a very long time, so I know that you have troubles. Because I know that you have troubles. Just because you have an insurance card that says that you had an effective policy on a certain date, if you don't pay the premiums on that policy, that means that the policy lapses this record. It comes in, it's not hearsay, it comes under a business record rule. Says that you acknowledged to the police officer at the scene that you had no insurance. In addition, this happened March 12th. We're now in May. If you had insurance, you would have gotten your car back. There was probably more to it, a lot more. A lot more that I don't have to get into right now. Right.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. And later today...
You can prove to me that you paid him $4,500.
No, I can show you that I paid him the $10,000.
No, I don't care about the receipt that you are going to show me. That doesn't fly with me. Do you understand?
Yes.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy.
Jessica Edwards says motorist Jessica Jacobson ran into her while she was crossing the road in her wheelchair.
Now, there's a reason that for the last 3 months you don't have your car if you had insurance and you had no other troubles. So you weren't supposed to be behind the wheel of a car.
That's not true. That's not true whatsoever.
My God.
I promise you that is not true. I can show you, if you want to go in and call a West Jordan agent with Geico, he'll tell you I haven't made payments every month.
The police department, are you telling me that the police department has it in for you for some reason, Ms. Jacobson?
Their officer hit me.
Are you telling me the entire police department has it in for some old lady? Is that what you're saying to me?
Not the entire officer hit me on January 10th at noon, and he did not claim it, and he did not own it, and he didn't report it to police.
All I'm asking you is, now is what you're saying to me that the entire police department and the district attorney has it in for you
I have a detective.
for some unknown reason.
I have a detective that runs me on errands all week.
We both know that you have a problem.
No, we don't.
Yeah, judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $5,000.
Okay, well,
goodbye.
Good luck.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Parties are excused. May step out.
She did hit me. She claims she didn't see me.
3 officers stayed with me when I went across the street to park and watched the whole incident take place.
My wheelchair spun.
And then the paramedics and others came with her.
And threw me into the lane she had been driving from.
Yes, one was cited to me for non-insurance, and that's what we're fighting in court right now.
And so I was straddling the median and her lane.
I don't know. I'm not ready to be done with it, but I don't think it was a fair hearing.
I inched across to get out of the lane so I wouldn't be a worse case scenario.
And now, the next case.
All parties in the matter of Elliott versus Martin.
Adolfo Rudy Martin for defrauding him regarding luxury suites at a UFC fight.
Let me see if I understand the basic facts. Mr. Elliott, you purchased suites of rooms for a sporting event from Mr. Martin, who does that as a business. How much did you pay him for this block of space at a sporting event?
$13,500.
And you have a check for that?
I don't have a check, but I have invoices to show that I paid him, and I got receipts from it as well.
How did you pay him?
I paid him through PayPal and through a separate transaction with cash of $6,000.
That doesn't fly with me. How much did you pay him that you can prove to me that you paid him by PayPal?
So through PayPal, I could show that I paid him $4,500.
$4,500 is what you can prove to me that you paid him.
Yes, and I could also prove that I gave him $6,000 because he gave me a receipt for it as well.
I don't care about the $6,000. Let's understand this.
Okay.
You can prove to me that you paid him $4,500.
No. I can show you that I paid him the $10,000.
No, I don't care about the receipt that you are going to show me. Do you understand?
Yes.
Perfect.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Want just like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter.
Now, Mr. Martin gave you back how much money?
$5,000.
Turns out that the suites that he gave you were bogus. So your people that you sold space to so they could go into the suites, they couldn't use the suites because...
He never had access to them in the first place.
Right. And he says he got scammed too. So you say you really out much more money because you sold these suites to people and you had to make good on what you sold them because they couldn't go. How many people did you sell the suites to?
I sold one.
One. To whom?
His name was Daniel, a friend of Rudy's.
For how much?
$2,500.
And Daniel couldn't go.
No, he cannot.
Did you pay Daniel back his money?
I did pay him back $2,500.
Do you have proof of that?
The proof?
No, so far you're ahead of the game. All you can prove to me is that you gave him $4,500 through PayPal. He gave you back, according to you, $5,000. So far you're $500 ahead of the game, which is no lawsuit to me. Okay? Do you understand where I'm going?
No.
You don't?
No, because I paid him much more than that.
The smile that you have on your face suggests to me that you know exactly where I'm going. Now, so far, the only thing that I know or that you can prove to me is that you couldn't use. You don't have any papers in front of you, sir, which suggests to me that you have no evidence.
No.
So the only evidence that he has that he can establish is that he gave you $4,500 through PayPal.
Correct.
And he wants me to believe that he gave you the rest in cash, for which you gave him a receipt, right?
Right.
Yeah, you're done. Where do you come from?
Boise, Idaho.
Okay. Maybe some small claim judge in Boise, Idaho will believe your shtick. I do not. So this is what I'm going to do for you. This is what I'm going to do for you. I'm going to dismiss your case without prejudice, so you can go back to small claims court in Boise, and maybe a judge in Boise will believe you. I don't. Goodbye.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. And on the next Judge Judy.
My argument was it was an investment, and investments aren't guaranteed.